Action at the bell. Hall of Fame World Championship veteran referee Stanley Christodoulou. And now the fighters are ready and the officials are ready. So for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen, damas y caballeros, dame y gospoda, let's get ready to rumble! Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, with his trainer Nate Jones and officially weighing in at 101.9 kilos. His professional record, 37 victories, including 24 knockouts against 7 defeats. Originally from San Juan, Puerto Rico, but now living, training, and fighting out of Chicago, Illinois, USA. He's Boricua to the bone, Fast Frizz, the Big O, Oquendo. And across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, with his trainer, Arthur Grigorian. His official weight, 111.7 kilograms. As a professional, 32 victories, including 20 knockouts, only 2 defeats with 1 draw. Originally from Uzbekistan, now officially adopted as the son of the Chechen people. He's the fighting pride of the Chechen Republic, former WBA heavyweight champion of the world, Ruslan Chagaev!
Well, the pleasantry is over and done with, Barry. We can get on with the action now. Stanley Christodoulou, now 70 years old. South African-born referee, been around a long time. Refereed Aaron Pryor and Alex Chagaev. That tells you how long he's been around.
Also refereed Jones versus over in Russia. The other one in Russia, Lebanon. Well done, John. I had the brain freeze then, which wasn't good work from him.
Shake hands. Good luck.
Wouldn't be allowed to referee in the UK, of course, where British Boxing Board of Control regulations insist that at the age of 65, referees have to stand down. So, who's it to be, Chagaev or Oquendo? 12-rounder for the WBA title. And sometimes these fights, just below the absolute elite, if you like, can turn out to be good.
Well, Stavern Ariola, that was for the world title recently. People sort of questioned their credentials, but it turned out to be a cracking contest.
Well, the crowd firmly behind Chagaev. Oquendo up on his toes for now.
You know what Chagaev's going to do? He's going to just try and nick your space, keep the hands up high, try and block and counter every time Oquendo throws a shot. But he's got to keep taking that step forward because of the shorter reach. Uses his forearms very well, doesn't he, to block the shots, take the brunt of the weight on the arms.
Fast Frizz just having a look at Chagaev, you suspect, in the early stages, flat-footed now. Maybe he's going to try and tee off with that left-hand lead, with that jab. And if he's going to win that fight, if he's going to win this fight, he's going to have to use that and use it well.
Yeah, it really is, and it's very hard to establish a jab with the southpaw because you always got to remind yourself to get your foot on the outside. But it's essential, and especially for Oquendo, it's essential that he establishes a jab so he can then get the right hand into play.
quiet sort of opening. Chagaev just rumbles forward, doesn't he? Familiar style that we've seen over the years. Twice a world amateur champion as well. Had a very good amateur record. He won when the World Championships were held in Belfast back in 2001.
Yeah, and the championship before that, he beat Savon, didn't he? And then got the stripped because he had a few pro fights, I think, or something similar. He beat Felix Savon, who was one of the greatest Cubans amateurs.
Yeah, you don't win that by accident, do you?
Oquendo's just struggling to hit the target at the moment.
Saw that one coming from way back, and it missed by a distance.
But nobody really doing much at note yet. I think Chagaev's got through the couple of left-hand counters.
Quiet sort of round, isn't it?
Yeah.
But you suspect that the judges may well go in favour of Chagaev, perhaps. It's better for Oquendo.
Yeah, it's almost a nothing wrong that, wouldn't it? I just bet Chagaev, I think...
Almost a 0-0 draw, wouldn't
it? Yeah, it is, yeah, you could give that even, to be honest. I think Chagaev, for thinking now with a few backhands throughout the round, but... and blocks everything. When Oquendo let his punches go then at the end of the round, it was all blocked by Chagaev. There's one of the backhands there, the left southpaw left hand, but... again, nothing, just having a look at each other.
No real power, and it was a...
Well, Oquendo's afraid to let the jab go commit too much with the jab, because he knows that Chagaev is a good counter puncher. And Chagaev is just looking to get a little bit too close, you know, wants to just wear you down, blocking your shots and looking just to get inside that reach. So both still looking at the moment.
So close round. Have you got off the fence? Have you just given it to Chagaev?
Yeah, just said Chagaev, but again, it was a nothing round, wasn't it? Almost.
12-rounder for the WBA Heavyweight Championship, their regular belt.
Just almost got to forget about that, haven't you?
Just take the fight on its merits, don't you? And the fact for the city where it's staged and the country where it's staged, it's big leagues. Ruslan Chagaev, who was given the Russian anthem, he's actually from Uzbekistan. It's a solid body shot.
Didn't Enzo Maccarinelli have something similar when he boxed Bremer? Didn't they play God Save the Queen?
They did.
Which is technically British, so you know. He is British, but it technically is the anthem of Britain, but not the Welsh anthem that you would hope to hear. If you were Welsh, of course. Just a little bit lazy with the jab. That's a little bit better from Oquendo. He needs to get back and he just whip that jab out really fast. Even if he's throwing from his waist, just to flick it out, right? No, but you've got to come back fast. Just pour it with it, it's no good.
Got beaten by Oliver McCall, that was his last defeat, and it's only 4 years ago, Oquendo. That's a solid left hand, and another one from Chagaev, who's starting to find the target and looks the heavier-handed fighter. Oquendo seems a little bit reluctant to let that right hand go.
Yeah, well, Chagaev, even though he's quite crude and he looks like he's just a come-forward fighter, he does counter-punch very, very well, using a high guard, like I said, the block and counter. And
caught him there with a nice left hand.
And he always nicks your space. You got to know, look, faster hands than what he looks like. He looks like a podgy, slow-looking, but he got quite fast hands for belie his stature. But Oquendo must have known what's going to come. You know what's going to come with Chagaev. Nobody's just going to walk forward, just stealing your space every time. So he knew he needed to flick a few jabs up, then a solid jab, and that's what he should have been working on. And at the moment, it looks like he hasn't, or hasn't been able to use it yet.
Well, he's being out-jabbed at the moment, which maybe you wouldn't have anticipated.
well, if he loses the battle of the jabs, there's no way he can win the fight, in my opinion.
Kind of pawing with that left hand, isn't he?
Well, he's expecting the counter. That's what happens. So you're expecting to be counter punched, so you almost snatch with the shot.
Well, that was a clear Chagaev round.
Yeah, for me too. Yeah, you almost snatch at the shot where you need to really be confident in that punch and let it go. As long as it comes back as fast as it went out, you're usually safe.
Highlights of the second round. It's Chagaev loading up with the left hand, his danger punch.
But that's him all over, isn't it, Chagaev? Once he gets in sort of range, he'll always throw that extra shot. You won't know. A lot of heavyweights, when they get close to that, they look to hold, but he's always looking to work, to his credit.
Massive crowd away in the banked arena. Now football here as well.
Round 3.
So third round, and on your card, Barry, Chagaev a couple already in the bag.
Yeah, the first could have been a draw, couldn't it? Almost a non-starter, but the second was clearly a Chagaev round. And unless Oquendo can get more confidence in that left jab of his, I can't see how he's going to keep Chagaev away. Unless he just loads up with that right hand and just really goes for broke, hoping he lands with a straight right down the middle of the guard. But his foot's not on the outside. He's not going to get the territorial advantage. They're going to let that punch go at the moment.
Hasn't put Chagaev under any sort of real pressure so far.
The first jab in that little exchange there was better from Oquendo. See, with the weak jabs, Chagaev just walks through it. And he keeps the hand, uses the forearms to block the punches, but he pushes through the shot.
41 years old, if we are calling this a proper heavyweight title fight. He would be the oldest heavyweight champion, I think, since George Foreman. He won it back in 1995 against '95 against Michael Moorer?
Michael Moorer.
I was there. A very emotional night in Las Vegas, that was.
What a talented, uninspired fight that he was, Michael Moorer.
It was a good performance the first time he fought Evander Holyfield as well.
Yeah, but for the most part of his career, you just remember him for being almost uninterested in the fight. Just barely did enough to win. He's a good, talented fighter he was, and I don't think he was wasted.
People say sometimes who's the hardest interview you've ever had, and Michael Moorer, I tell you, you'd have to be right up there.
Again, Chagaev getting through some left hands there through the guard of Oquendo.
It's better from Oquendo. That's his shot, that's what he's looking for. Bringing that right hand into play at last. Oh, that's a good shot from Chagaev. Accuracy and power.
And everything with that combination, all the movement before the punch was good. Rather than block this time, he just slipped the jab, slipped on the outside, and then got the left hand to play through the guard.
And maybe an example of what you're saying, Barry. Oquendo starting to risk a bit more, looking to engage, and straight away punished.
Yeah, well, he's 3 down on my card, John, and definitely 2 down. You would think on everyone's card, so we've got a lot to do now, a lot to catch up on. These rounds will go away quick, you see. You think you're pacing yourself before you know it, you're 5-6 rounds down with everything to go for. Because one thing we saw with Chagaev, he won't stop coming for 12 rounds. He'll keep coming at you with that high guard and those fast counters. This little right hand there, though, and that little exchange from Oquendo.
Showing his physical strength there. even if it was outside the legality of the sport.
This is going to be the straight left on the middle. Point.
Round 4.
Yeah, bit of a pity there, the best punch of the round we didn't actually see, did we? But there's no doubt that Chagaev won the round, and we move now into the fourth.
But what you did see in those replays is every time Chagaev throws a punch, his arms are straight back up, his gloves are up nice and high, always has a nice high tight defence, which makes it hard and also demoralising for you, because when you can't get your punches through the target, you start to either be more economical with your shots or panic a bit and go for something too elaborate and get caught.
Well, he's been a good fighter over the years. I mean, there's only, as we were saying before the fight began, there's only really been Vladimir Klitschko who's done a number on him.
Well, he's the correct fight, isn't he? And even though he's a bullish come forward fighter, but like I said, nice high guard, fast hands. You know, he always sort of looks a little bit pudgy, if you like, rather than stocky at times. But he fights at a high work rate. You know, he uses what he got to his advantage, doesn't he? He uses his physical strength and his fast hands to his advantage. And I think he got quite a quick brain as well.
Well, he seems to have worked Oquendo out, and he's not having too many difficulties at the moment. He just carries on doing what he's doing. It's hard to make an argument for Oquendo here. That's better.
Yeah, nice little come off the jab though. That's the jab he needs. That jab there, that first jab there we just seen, that's what he needs. Snappy punch. Just makes Chagaev, when he gives Oquendo a chance to move, it also makes Chagaev have to reset himself. Because obviously he's thinking, he's planning things in his head now, Chagaev. He's stealing your space, but he's planning to mount it like he did there, mount an attack. So a nice snappy jab, or double it up and then fly that right hand through the guard. And even if you don't hurt him, it resets him. He has to start all over again, stops him from being too bullish.
Oquendo said that the southpaw style wasn't going to worry him. Certainly he's been around a long time. Pro since 1997, when Chagaev, before resuming his amateur career, actually had a paid fight the same year.
Yeah. Well, I think that's why he was stripped of.
That's right, yeah.
Of the World Championship medal.
I think he only earned about 10 quid out of it. It wasn't exactly a life changer.
Again, Oquendo had a decent little start to the round, and then just sort of seems to have gone back into his shell. And landed with a couple of good shots.
Here's the older man, of course, Frez. 41 now. And the further the fight goes, stamina might be an issue.
See, that's a round you could give to Oquendo, but I haven't. I think he landed with the better punches and then just stopped throwing shots, and I think he gave that round away.
Yeah, it was good for the first minute, wasn't he? But not a great deal after that.
Well, he probably threw the better punches of the round, but I think he just gave that round away then. Just landed with a few good shots, and then for the last minute of the round then didn't do anything at all. Just trying to move around and maybe keep a little bit in the tank for later on, who knows. But you think, you're not going to get too many clean punches on Chagaev, so when you do, I think you just need to capitalise on that, especially boxing away from home. You have to be really busy.
So moving now into the fifth round.
Round 5.
And Oquendo, I'm sure, will have been told by his corner that he's just got to step it up. At the moment, he's just allowing rounds to slip away. Not really been seriously hurt at any stage, I don't think, but he's being outworked. The quality's coming from Chagaev.
Yeah, but came out a little bit busy. I think your corner would go, listen, if I was in his corner, I'd go, listen, you had a good round, and then threw it in the bag for no reason at all. So go out there, be busy, be confident in that jab.
You want to see a little bit more belief in Oquendo if he's going to upset the odds here.
I wouldn't even worry about too much about the power of the punches, but they've got to be sharp. They've got to come back as fast as they go out, so your hands are always up. And with the counter punches as well, you throw in combinations. And he come out and done that in this round, through 3 straight punches, and Chagaev can't answer it.
That's a nice left hand again from Chagaev. Brought the punch up well, and here the crowd respond to it. Well, referee telling Chagaev about use of the head. I thought it was Oquendo who went in.
It was Oquendo who went in with his head down.
Stanley Christodoulou, the referee, he did Hagler Duran as well, like reffing from another age.
And Neville Evan Jones. Yes, we got it out.
Big body shot.
Yeah, I still think the right hand to the jaw from Oquendo was a decent shot as well.
Face of Chagaev reddening a little bit, suggesting that well, some of those, a lot of his jabs have been taken on the gloves, but a few of them have got through on that right hand.
I think Oquendo's had a decent round, I do, to be honest. I think he's landed with some good punches, started fast. Nice little 1-2 there from him again.
Needs more of the same.
Yeah, you got to keep the tempo up, haven't he? You can't know he gets us, throws a nice few combinations, and then just allows it to sag back down again. And
the American corner's getting very animated. They see their man having the best round. It's that right hand again.
It's landed on the target as well. It might not be a knockout punch, but you'll feel that Chagaev. It's right on the nose.
Well, it's Oquendo's best round so far.
Yeah, it is. It's still a close round again, though, isn't it? But I think it's Oquendo's round. But not by much, John.
No, but he'll take a little bit of confidence out of that, maybe, and grow in belief that this could be his night.
It's going to be a good body shot there from Chagaev.
That shows again, he gets inside, doesn't allow himself very easily to get tied up, does he? Does work away to the body.
Little highlight reel here for Chagaev, as you'd expect.
Home fighter, home producers, and we commentate off their pictures. They're not highlighting a great deal that Oquendo did, but he's clearly had his moments in that round.
Yeah, like I said, it was a close round. I had Oquendo, I think he started quite fast and landed with those straight punches down the pipe, and was enough. I think again though, Chagaev come on again in the later of the round, but I think Oquendo, that's good. Showed Oquendo what he has to do to be competitive, and has to be busy.
Referee wanting to have a word with Chagaev before the action began. Maybe again emphasising the fact that he doesn't want to see the head being used. But in our view, maybe talking to the wrong man.
Yeah, it might have been to make sure they cut that tape off. That was loose in the end of the round.
Yeah.
That's a good little left hand there from Chagaev again. It's amazing how effective Chagaev is, because he comes in straight lines. He does slip a little bit, but he blocks most things, and he comes in straight lines, and you think, pepper him with the jab and then try and get some uppercuts in there, because he's down with his head down low, and that might rip through the guard then if you can turn the body on a good uppercut as a fighter's coming forward.
Oquendo, for the moment, seems to have gone back into his shell a little.
And that was again another good left hand there from Chagaev. And Oquendo felt it because he sort of stood his ground a bit, didn't he? Trying to unload the big right hand of his own, but didn't have the same accuracy.
Yeah, when you see Oquendo, as you've said earlier, Barry, when he's stepped up a level, he's generally just sort of fallen short of the mark, hasn't he? Lost to David Tua, James Toney, Evander, of course.
Yeah, he has, but when he isn't, when he boxes well, he looks a good fighter.
Well, now we are going to have some work on this binding.
That's a different glove. It was the right hand, wasn't it, in the last round? Yeah, but he needs to be busier, Oquendo. You know, you haven't been able to get the jab into play, which he probably would have liked and would have helped him being a taller fighter, but he's not using his attributes, his natural attributes, which is his 6 inches of reach advantage or something that he has. And as I said, against a counter puncher, as Chagaev, even though Chagaev comes forward, he's an aggressive counter puncher, you need to throw in combinations, always throwing threes.
Did you see the footage of the president sparring with Chagaev?
No, I didn't.
Apparently it's out there. I reckon it wasn't the worst spar either.
Well, he has a Povetkin look about him, doesn't he, the president?
Looks as though it might be the match for David Cameron. Well, this has been a quiet round for Oquendo. Baffling, really, because he had his best round. Arguably, that's a decent left hand, though, just to prove me wrong. But he had his best round in the 5th, didn't he? And he's not done a great deal here.
But the left of the body's woken him up. He feels like he hurt Chagaev with that.
Going looking for the big overhand right. Well, you may be right, Barry, because almost for the first time in the fight, Chagaev actually conceding a bit of ground. And suddenly it's Oquendo who's on his feet, planting himself, looking for the big shots. Caught by a right-hand counter. Well, the fight's sort of bubbling along, isn't it? And Chagaev, for me, doing the better work again for the bulk of the round, although Oquendo did manage to land a few meaty-looking shots in the last few seconds.
Well, Oquendo did the right thing. He done all his work in the last part of the round, which sometimes swayed it to your way.
Oh, he's cut.
A nasty cut as well, looks like.
That's not good. Now, was that a punch which did that, or was it a clash of heads?
I didn't see it, John, but the size of it, and being a southpaw and orthodox, you would suspect the heads.
Oh, now, I think it was a clash of heads. I think it was at that moment, because you see he was dabbing away at the eye straight away. He knew he was hurt.
Yeah. And maybe that's what woke Oquendo up. He's seen the cut maybe, and he'll fancy it now, that's for sure.
Well, that is not good. Don't seem to have done too much work on rectifying the matter either.
No, not at all.
Mick Williamson's watching, he'll be saying, what are they doing? So into the second half of the fight, Chagaev may be winning it.
Oh, lovely left hand on the pipe there from Chagaev.
But is that injury going to be an issue? I don't think the ref even had a look at it, did he?
No. It's amazing. For such a shorter fighter and a much shorter reach, he gets a double jab left hand into play from the southpaw stance. He shouldn't be able to do that. It's because he steps in behind every punch. And Oquendo allows him to do that.
It served him well for a long time, hasn't it?
Yeah, well, he really commits himself with the jab. He doubles up the jab, he steps in behind every shot, pushes you back with the punch, and then tries to let that left hand go. But Oquendo should be...
Well, the guy with the jab, Oquendo, he's kind of been out-jabbed, hasn't he?
Yeah, well...
For a lot of the fight.
He's been too tentative with it. You can't know, because once you get countered once from the jab, then you lose confidence in the punch. But you have to believe in it. You have to believe in the work you've done in the gym, and he should have been working on this jab. Should have been working on keeping the foot on the outside, spinning his opponent.
Well, he's trying to target that left eye of Chagaev, with the deep cuts just around the eyebrow, just above the eyebrow. And the blood is starting to flow again.
Yeah, it's not good, is it? And that's got Chagaev. It's Chagaev's glove doing all the problems. He keeps his hands so high. He's probably rubbing that cut every time he puts his hands up. And Oquendo not really capitalising on anything at the moment again. That's better. Even if you're hitting something, just throw the punches sometimes. You might feel a bit despondent that oh, that's a good shot. You might feel a bit despondent that you're hitting arms and gloves, but just you've got to keep throwing the punches. As long as you're hitting something, you're doing something right.
American corner trying to get Oquendo to work. You can hear him bellowing out their instructions.
And he's having a decent round, to his credit. And quite a few 1-2s down the centre of the guard.
Chagaev, well, psychologically it's got to be a factor now. He'll know that it's not a good, he'll know that it's a bad cut.
That was good from Oquendo. He got caught with a shot and fired straight back with 2 right hands. And again there, right to the body, left over the top from Oquendo. I've just favoured Oquendo in that round, John. I think it was a close round. I think again Chagaev did most of the work again, like following around the ring. But I like Oquendo's cleaner work.
Well, there's the president himself going to have a look. Well, I don't think I've ever seen... What's all this about? He wants to have a look at the cut. Well, he might be the most powerful man in the country, but he has no place there.
Well, he might be giving some invaluable advice about if you don't win, you're never leaving.
You can see they're working away there now. Fritz Sudanek, very experienced trainer. A little bit of a swelling as well underneath the left eye of Oquendo.
Both landing good shots there. I think Oquendo's was the cleaner shot though.
You've got it 5-2 at this stage to Chagaev.
Yeah, and that first round could have gone. No, the first round and the last round actually could have gone either way.
I didn't really think Oquendo did anything in the opening round.
No,
I can just so poor with that jab.
but no, the Chagaev
Dance around the ring. Well, the doctor will have had a look at the eye of Chagaev.
or maybe not, John.
Well, the referee doesn't seem overly concerned, does he? It's good jab. Needs more of that, Oquendo.
Yeah, because Chagaev is just not as committed as going forwards, putting as much pressure on Oquendo as he did. Well, from round 1, well, from round 2 to 6. So this is maybe Oquendo's opportunity to get some good shots in, to land with that jab, set things up behind that long jab. Now he's giving it a little bit more space, a little bit more time to set some attacks up.
Oquendo just allowing Chagaev to kind of dictate though, isn't he? And even though there's not a lot of punches being landed, the impression is that it's Chagaev who's forcing the fight, maybe.
Yeah.
That's Oquendo trying to tee off there though and aiming at that left eye.
I think Oquendo, when Chagaev comes forward, he dips to the left. That's where Oquendo needs to get that uppercut with the right hand. Just whip it in there really hard, really just turn from the waist, put everything into it.
He's not thrown too many at all, has he?
No, he threw one to the body and landed.
Right hand more has been the one over the top.
Yeah. Well, to work on that cut, jab to the face, jab to the chest, and then throw that right hand over the top. And that's going to maybe just draw the attention, maybe drop the hand slightly at Chagaev, and then you get a free target on the cut.
Chagaev, understandably, a little bit more wary now, a little bit less inclined to go bulldozing his way in, which is his natural inclination.
That's the right uppercut there, and close to the body from Oquendo.
Oquendo looking for that 1-2 once again.
I think Oquendo's round again. I think Chagaev gave him a little bit too much space, a little bit too much time, and even though Chagaev's never really a high output fighter, he always puts pressure on you with the feet, tires you out that way, and he didn't in that round. And I think just give Oquendo a little bit more time to let his shots go. Again, there's no massive disparities in these rounds. They're all pretty close, but
seemed to have done a better job on that cut than they did initially. Worked away on it, and we didn't see too much blood there.
No, really good job. That's a good right hand there.
Slashing sort of punch, wasn't it? And that's going to just make it worse. That's not going to help. Well, on your card, Oquendo narrowing the gap. 4 rounds to go. And if he were to win the last 4, well, it's going to be an interesting one for the judges.
Oh, lovely shot there from Chagaev. He's back to putting pressure again with the feet. I think that's the key, isn't it, for Chagaev, not giving, we've seen in the previous 2 rounds, not giving Oquendo enough space or enough time just to feel comfortable to let his hands go. When you've realised when you put him under pressure, you don't want to throw punches as frequently as he is when he's given more time to feel relaxed.
Well, there is an atmosphere. It might not be coming across too well, but there's a lot of noise back in the bleachers way at the back of the stadium. Just the elite sitting at ringside. And you can hear the chants now starting to rise for Chagaev. That's a nice counter from Oquendo.
Yeah, he took a good left hand into the body, but responded.
Oh, that's a lovely shot.
And he's landed with that a few times, haven't he? But that was probably the best punch he's landed so far tonight.
He's losing his glove again. The binding's coming undone.
That's good from Oquendo. It's nice and simple as well. They just 1-2 straight on the centre of the guard. Nothing too elaborate. Not trying to be too clever.
Oquendo beat him to the punch there.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he's coming back good. In a round that Chagaev started very brightly, Oquendo coming back into it.
And our veteran referee has now noticed. More tidying up required.
If they lose any more time, they're going to be down the lace.
Got a bit of a standoff.
Yeah.
Oquendo's just got to let his punch. He's got to let punches go. It's better from Chagaev. At last, it's starting to just heat up a bit.
That's a nice little move there from Oquendo. Nice little hook behind the guard, look, spin off.
Sure, the crowd would like to see a few more fireworks. And that gets the roars from the back of the stadium, although they weren't really on target.
No, it didn't quite connect with it. Close round goal. I just edged Chagaev, I did in that round. I think he had a brighter start. But Oquendo coming on a bit stronger later in the round.
So you've got it 6-3 after 9.
This is crazy stuff. It really is.
Well, there's just no way that people should be allowed to just walk up, whoever you are, into a corner and start delivering that sort of advice.
That's a cracking shot, isn't it? That left hand. He just slips over, drops his head to the right, and lets the hand go. But Oquendo showed a little bit of grit, you know, firing back when he got hit.
He's not been busy enough though, Barry, has he?
No.
Round 10.
So they move into the 10th round, 3 to go. Oquendo's surely got to win all 3 to have any hope of winning this.
Yeah, I think so as well. And I tend to think that it's not because he's not capable. I just think he hasn't really... No, he could have been busier, couldn't he? That's for sure.
Well, it's his big opportunity, isn't it? And he's got to seize it. It's getting to the step. Well, he's at the stage now where he's really got to gamble. Are you going to leave it in there, or are you going to actually go out on your shield and give it everything you've got?
And obviously fighting away from home. I know Chagaev's not from here exactly, but you know they're playing as if he is the home fighter. And lovely little 1-2 there from Oquendo. But yeah, you think you have to be busier. You'd have to land with more punches, and he's been capable of doing it as well.
Oquendo planting his feet now and starting to tee off.
Well, Oquendo, to me, looks like he's got plenty of energy left.
Exactly, that's the point I was making. You know, he doesn't want to be getting to round 12 and to the final bell and still feeling as though he's got it all there.
That's right. It's better from Oquendo.
His fans will be watching back in the USA, and some of the young kids who he helps. He has his own boxing academy in Chicago. Two of them landing almost simultaneously there. Oquendo caught off balance, no damage done.
Yeah, I mean, they're just getting his punches inside the guards. Chagaev having the better of that little exchange. And again, a round up till now, which Oquendo hasn't done enough.
There's no jigging around now, though. He looks as though he's prepared to trade, given the opportunity.
Well, you see in the beginning of the round, he landed with some lovely punches, and there again. There's a 1-2 and an uppercut there. There's nothing in it, but they're landing shots. But not doing. He's having success, and he's not building on that success.
Chagaev just dabbed at that injured eye after Oquendo got in there and in the clinch. Was not shy of getting his head into the danger area again. Chagaev, I think, is starting to feel the pace as well. He's the one who looks the more tired in there as it comes into the latter stages, and that's a good shot from Oquendo.
And that's the shot we've been talking about, isn't it? They'll get that uppercut into play. I still don't think it's enough for him to win the round, though, John. I still think Chagaev was the busier throughout the round. They're just showing now, you know, Oquendo would have let his punches go earlier. You know, look at that right uppercut. We've been asking for that from round 5 or 6.
If he does lose this, and the indications are that he will do, he's going to be coming away from the fight with a few what-ifs, I think, unless he can really up his pace in the last 2 rounds here.
Well, I don't think he's coming to the fight with any plan. The thing that he's had time to he had time to study his opponent. They didn't really show the uppercut that he landed with. He's had time to study his opponent. He knows who Chagaev is, so he's had plenty of time to work on a plan to beat him or to box against him. And doesn't seem like he's bothered. It just looks like they got themselves into shape.
Penny for the thoughts of Fritz Sudenek, when the president comes over the ropes and starts issuing instructions as though he's the great boxing guru.
But if it was anyone else, he'd tell him where to go, wouldn't he? Let's be honest.
Oquendo needs 2 big rounds. And once more, the binding of that left glove coming undone. Must have lost about a metre during the fight.
Yeah, I'll say he'd be done to the laces now. It's ridiculous. That's a right hand there from Oquendo, again through the guard, showing that He has success when he decides to let his punches go.
He's got talent, Barry, but he's an infuriating fighter, isn't he? That's lovely. See, that's skill.
No, I know he couldn't have got away with those sort of punches earlier in the fight when Chagaev was full of energy and bullish, but he could have been busy with the straighter punches. And then when Chagaev's been looked tired to me from round 6 or whenever he got the cut 7 or whatever it was. He's looked tired from then.
Well, he's the one who's blowing them more in there now.
And that's when Oquendo really should have put his foot on the pedal, because Oquendo looks like he's got plenty of energy left.
And he's not really been... although Chagaev's landed some good shots, you've not really seen Oquendo in any sort of trouble.
No. You can see Chagaev's tired.
Yeah, he's gambling on single shots now, and the timing's gone.
Yeah, timing's gone. First thing, guy with really good timing, once you're tired, the timing goes and you struggle. Both good.
Onwards we go in round 11. WBA heavyweight title at stake. Chagaev, although he's probably ahead on the cards, he is the one who's just struggling and having to dig deep now as the finishing line comes nearer, and the binding on the wrapping on the glove again is a mess.
It's unbelievable, isn't it, that? He's dominating things at the moment, Oquendo, in this round. And behind the jab, he can establish the jab. No, he can push Chagaev back with that, because Chagaev looks tired to me. Looks like his energy's gone, his timing's out the sorts.
It's a lovely uppercut again from Oquendo.
Classy little shot, isn't it?
Yeah, he's got no shortage of skill, good technique.
I thought he was going to cause Chagaev all sorts of problems, and I think he has the ability to do that. He just waited too long, hasn't he?
Well, he's going to have to stop it again and get that glove sorted out, surely. You've got about a foot of the stuff hanging off now. Artur Grigorian may have been a great fighter, but...
yeah, can't take the glove up.
No.
Again, that lead uppercut there, just a second ago from Oquendo.
That's a good round for Oquendo, isn't it?
An easy round from Oquendo. And it could have been like that for the last, 5 rounds.
I was going to say, everybody watching back home, all you aficionados who are with us tonight, you're going to be looking at Frez Oquendo and just sort of thinking, well, where was this earlier on? Why has he not done it at an earlier stage in the fight?
Well, he couldn't have done it in the first 4 or 5 rounds, because Chagaev's put so much pressure on you, so you're not going to get away with some of the classy little moves that Oquendo could do. But he could have been busier and put more, try to just fight back a bit more, not give the rounds away.
Well, he's getting the rallying call, Frez. It really is a question now of how much do you want it? Get out there and really boss this round, win it big. He's just about spent, I reckon, Chagaev. He looks all in, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's tired, yeah. He's trying to motivate himself now by shouting in the corner.
Round 12.
So the final round. Is it going to be the favourite, or is it going to be the American? Chagaev trying to start fast. His arms are going to be heavy now.
Look at the bounce in Oquendo's step. He looks like he's got loads of energy. He should be popping that jab out now, real flicking in his face, bouncing around a little bit. Thinking he's going to go dancing round, and then just plant his feet and whack that right hand right through the guard. Set something up.
Well, Chagaev put an effort in the first 30 seconds, but it's single shots now, and
you can do that in Russia, that's allowed.
Well, it might look amusing, but you've got a heavyweight fighter falls on top of you. He's going to know about that. Oquendo needs big punches. Is he going to find something? And will he be able to detonate one of those classy uppercuts?
Because for me, Chagaev's just a target right now. He really
He's not really doing a deal now, Chagaev, Barry, and he hasn't for a round or two.
Yeah, but even then, those darting attacks where he'd usually have success because he would steal the space with the jab and the feet. But no, he's not Chagaev because he's puffing. So he's just trying to launch into attacks.
Single shots on it.
But it takes more energy because you're launching yourself in, using more energy, using your legs.
That's better from Oquendo. Left hand found its way through. The American is the one forcing the pace now. And there's an air of worry, very much so, in the Chagaev corner. They don't want to see him walk onto anything in this last minute or so of this fight. And it could still happen.
He wants to dip his head to the left, Oquendo, and just throw that right hand over the top, like almost bowl it over. Just dip his head down, use all that weight there, bend his knees and just throw that right hand over the top.
There you go. Didn't find the target that time, but he needs to keep the pressure on. Crowd's going bananas away in the stands. Chagaev, very much the local hero, but he's on the receiving end in this last round. Heads clash.
Oh, that was literally just both trying to headbutt each other, wasn't it? Oh,
and it's
shot.
all Oquendo. He thinks he's won it.
He's won that last round quite big. Not enough to win the fight for me, John.
No, he's won the latter stages, hasn't he? He's been ahead in the second half of the fight. You've got it 7-5, I think, Barry.
Yes.
And remember where you are. And remember who was giving instructions in the corner. Well, a nice show of sportsmanship at the end of it. A little bit disappointing as a fight, I thought. I expected more, and Oquendo clearly had the ability, but he just couldn't force it home.
I
don't think so. We'll see what the judges make of it, but I don't think so.
I was disappointed. It was a decent little fight. The second half of the fight, the first half of the fight took a while to warm up. The second half of the fight was quite entertaining. I think I was disappointed in Oquendo's work ethic in the first half, for sure, really was, and well, through most of it, to be honest. And then a little bit disappointed in Chagaev's fitness because he just gassed out after 6-7 rounds.
Yeah, he was spent, wasn't he, the last 2 or 3 rounds? But Oquendo's finished this fight looking like he could do another 6 rounds, and that just can't be right when you're in there looking to win a world title.
Well, it's a world title, and you're boxing away from home, everything, and also not so much to forget about the world title because you know it's not the boxer's fault, but the way the politics are. It's the rewards that this thing gets you. A big fight with Povetkin, Vladimir. There's loads of David Hayes there. You know, there's loads of other potential massive big paydays and fights you could have. And you know, do you think you put everything on the line, wouldn't you?
Well,
listen, you won't see Derek Chisora and Tyson Fury going 12 rounds, having plenty left in the tank.
No, too right.
You know, if they do 12 rounds, they'd be absolutely shattered, and that's what it should be.
Well, he thinks he's won. And I reiterate, on our cards, on Barry's card, got it by a 2-point margin for Chagaev, but Oquendo, he looks so fresh. Doesn't look as though he's just had a world championship fight, does he? Doesn't look as though he's just gone 12 rounds.
No, and he probably feels like he's won the fight. And not for me.
Well, there's somebody who I always admired hugely as a fighter. Lucky enough to be at ringside for a fair few. There's Marco Huck. Evander Holyfield. He was surely just about the bravest of the lot, wasn't he?
Oh, he was something special, wasn't he? Really was. But as a cruiserweight, he was just phenomenal. I know he gets all the credit for the heavyweight, and so he should. Boxing guys who were much bigger than him, naturally huge fellas. But as a cruiserweight, he was something else. Maybe the best one ever. Which is from a great weight. The cruiserweight's been some talented weight.
Still looks in good nick, doesn't he? David Hay as well, contemplating his comeback before too long.
Well, look at the size. He's David Hay's not a big heavyweight, but he towers over Holyfield.
Well, Evander's not much taller than me.
Ladies and gentlemen, we go to the scorecards in the ring to present the championship belt to the new champion. We have former WBA champion David Hay and 5-time world heavyweight champion Evander Holyfield. Here are the score totals. Judge Pineda has it even, 114 to 114. Judge Joaquin, 115, 113. Judge Marin, 115, 113 to the winner by majority decision, representing the Chechen Republic, Russia, Ruslan Chagaev!
Well, majority decision, the judges scoring it much the way that we did. Ruslan Chagaev wins the WBA title. Oquendo is going to be leaving here feeling that he was robbed. But should he not just have gambled a little bit more than he did, taking perhaps the doubt out of it? Ruslan Chagaev, though, by majority decision on points in this spectacular arena. Not a great fight. It had its moments, and he now can contemplate real big fights ahead.
Okay, David Hay, Evander Holyfield in the ring, Captain Huck in the ring. Captain Huck, David Hay doing selfies. The president now, whose father was assassinated in 2004 when he was a mere 27 or so years of age. He had to wait 2 years under Chechen law before he could become the president, which he did in 2007. Did a very interesting thing in 2005. With regards to his sister and 150 armed militia. That guy is an interesting character. The fight itself, well, it didn't actually take off like we thought it might. The last couple of rounds were okay. Steve-O, Oquendo, I mean, we thought Chagaev won by a couple of rounds. Yeah. Oquendo got it wrong on the night.
Oh, got it. I gave him 4 of the last 6 rounds. He didn't realise he could win till about round 7. He got cut in round 6. He suddenly realised I can win this fight. It was gone by then. I gave him 4 of the last 6 rounds. But Nate Jones, his trainer, should be bashing him up in the dressing room, and he might be. And Oquendo, he shouldn't be sleeping for a week. But Steve, the judging, we often knock judging, especially in these sort of hostile territories. The 3 WBA judges, you can't knock them at all tonight.
And one judge there came out 114, 114, which you couldn't actually have a moan against.
No, of course you couldn't.
That's got to be one of the bravest pieces of officiating ever.
They must have really looked at their cards and after